The reputable and international journalist Hans Wischer has tested boats for international magazines such as Boat International and Yachten. Here he tests Vismara Marine's innovative MY68. The vessel represents the transfer of the technology and design of Vismara's high-performance yachts to their motor cruiser line. The test shows some of the highlights carried out by the German journalist in his mission to discover the secrets of the boat. Advanced materials and components, sea stability thanks to a deep V hull, a sleek and aggressive profile, and warship-style design are some of the distinguishing characteristics of the boat.
Hello, nice to meet you. I'm Hans, journalist from Germany, and I have a sea trial with you. I think it's not the best weather, it's not Italy today, but it's a good weather for having a sea trial out on the sea. I hope it's a little bit rough, that we can see how the boat is behaving. So the first step is to have the minimum speed at all with one engine only. I have to walk around now in the boat with making the noise. Therefore I have a special instrument for the noise. You see? Okay, we have the 600 RPM now with one engine running only, and we have a speed of 4.3, 4.4 knots. We say 4.7. Okay, it's slow speed now. The average is about 4.5 knots, I would say. And we have a rumore, a noise meter. I have to be silent now to see. It's 58 dBA. I noted down my measurements, what I've done now about the speed. Engine was okay, 600. The noise on the ham station and the noise on the several positions, and the consumption with two engines and one engine. But one engine is meaning one. Both are running, but only one is coupled in. So therefore, it's not double the same. It's 9 and 15 liters per hour. The consumption at the moment is a slow speed. The next step is to go over to the minimum planning speed. Planning is this moment when the boat goes over the waves. It's setting with his popper, I think popper is in the back, the stern, on the waves, riding on the waves. A normal boat is a displacement boat, which is never planning, and displacement is more. So we go, start, you see the waves are always, this is typical displacement waves, which just go, but it goes closer together now, and you see, stop, go down, down. Now we have to go down, so we must setting up, you see the pitch, the form of the waves. Slow down a little bit, down, down. Stay with that, we have to see if we can stay or we go step into the waves. I have to look to the owner's cabin, which is the part where the owner is sometimes sleeping during sea trialing. So it must be very comfortable. At the moment we have a little hard wave outside. That means I have to look to find a moment that I don't have too much disturbance by the waves. It's only the noise of the water. Okay, you see this boat is a typical ship, a little ship with the windows like a commercial fishing boat. And you see we don't get too much water in front from the bow, which means that it's a hull for dry driving. Stop. 18, 26 and 31. Okay. Now we make the measurement of the acceleration, which is sometimes for sportive boats important. For displacement boats I don't do that because they are not sportive and not fast. This is a boat fast with around 32 knots we measured at the maximum. And the 30 knot is something arranged for Italian boat yards, especially for the flybridge models, if they reach the 30 or not. And a lot of yards, they indicate in the brochures that they have 32 knots, and in reality, they reached 28 and no more. So 30 is something like a magic in Italy, to have the magic speed of 30 knots. So we measured here already more than 30 knots. So now we make the acceleration starting from 0 up to about planning, cruising. And I have to keep the figures in mind, and later on I can note down. So we wait for the captain now to put the throttle full down with all the power he has, because we made it, maybe we make it twice, but to check, double check. Okay, we can go. It was acceleration until the planning speed, minimum planning, was with 8 seconds the average, not very fast, but the planning speed on this boat starts with 18 knots. Other boats are starting with 15 knots, so of course it takes more time to get the 18 knots on this boat. Okay, now I will take the boat by myself, because until now we did everything, the measurements. I asked the captain to do that. I have time to make my notes. Okay, at the moment I see we have a little rough sea with a sea force 4 Beaufort, 3 to 4 Beaufort. And I've seen that this boat is in a comfortable way underway at about 16, 17 knots, and we have about 1500 giri, so full speed. Now we are going to the displacement. Okay, we have in total about 60 liters, but we only make 14, 13 knots, so that is not very ecological. It's a little bit smoother, but I think the smoothest ride today on this boat is about 20, 21 knots, what I did before. I could imagine that for this boat, in this condition, a stabilizer system could be a good idea to keep it stable. Now we go to the owner's cabin and see if he has a good sleep or not. Maybe you get it, the noise, you can hear the rumor, the ventilation. It's even 50 dB, it's no more. It's a condition you can sleep in with around 50 dB, which you have much more in running speed. So it's a calm thing, and even you can switch down a little bit the ventilation that you have it more quiet, but it's quite okay. You see, you come down here, you have a big floor with 2 cabins in behind, port side and starboard side. On the starboard side we have a bathroom as well. Underneath here in the floor is a washing center with a washing machine, which is quite normal to have it somewhere. Some lockers, some doors, some space. It's a washing center, and then you follow me to the cabin. It's a shower here, and it is closed with glass to cover the hand washing facilities. It's another one. Door closes the toilet. It's not to make it very difficult to go to the toilet, but I think here the reason is to have it a covered area for the shower, that you don't have to clean everything after showering. Guest cabin, on one side you have a Pullman bed for 1 person. On the other cabin, here you don't have a Pullman bed. You have a double bed for 2 persons, go from sideways, which is even quite normal. And from here you can go further on through this door that leads to the garage. You can open the hatch and you can stow a little tender inside. We have to go to the engine room. There's a little step in front, but it's round already for the safety reasons. Daily oil check you can reach, but for going to the backside, it's a little bit narrow in this engine room. You have good ventilations coming in, but going out still you feel after 2 or 3 hours after running, it's still warm in the engine room. That's why people in Brazil, they need the air conditioning in the engine room. Not in Europe, normally it's not used. We are down under in the guest cabin, which is a guest suite it consists of 2 cabins that have a sliding door in between, like in the hotel room where you can combine 2 rooms to a big suite. So I think that's the same idea here, to have a suite. So here you have something. I look in the locker. Sometimes I feel around. How is the woodwork done? Is it still okay, or is there still some things which should be made better? Okay, I got my opinion on this boat. What I don't get is something in a room, a headroom above the bed. Maybe there's a little window to open to get some fresh air in. So both cabins, or the one suite, they have a bathroom with a shower and a washing basin and a small toilet. Now let's go to the owner's cabin. So of course in every boat I look underneath if there's something against humidity, that buildings that up humidity. I think in Italian is the word morpha, that there's no morpha possible. You see here it's missing. The curves, it's not really curved, it's really sharp canted. Sharp. So that is something of what is described as a minimalistic design, but it's not very practical on a boat, but I have to look for those things. Let's go further on. We have here something, a beauty case. There shall be a mirror when the boat is ready. You can use it as for this laptop or something for the ladies to clean up. Here we have this small windows with a blind. To have a little, okay, small windows. The lockers, I think, are quite enough. You have an escape in the deck, but you don't have any ladder to come up. So you need, if you really, it is an emergency exit, you need something more than you have here. Behind this wall, that is very unusual to have the owner's cabin in the front. Okay, it's calm by the motor engine, but it's in the sea, it's a little bit movable. But here they have their owner's cabin in front. They made it. You go to the bathroom. There's a shower in the center. Sharp cornered glass shower. There's a washing basin. It's not yet ready. You see the sump is missing still in this boat. You have 2 little hatches to get some fresh air in or humidity outside when you don't use the air condition. And you have a wide shower section. Doors opening only inside, not outside. Okay, it's a big cabin. You see on the brands, which are used in the pantry, something about the quality of the boat. It's 99% of all the boats I've been on board. It's from Gaggenau, the dishwasher from Gaggenau. But to use Gaggenau in this pantry, that tells a lot about the quality of the boat, that they think about the quality. It's just a sign. You can go to the up and down, which is very, very, very nice done. You have lockers instead of a fridge, which are much more used on the sailboat. In this case, it's done by Frigoboat, not by Gaggenau. Go further on, in the same area is the saloon, so it's no step in between. It's a little bit safe that you don't step somewhere. You have a saloon area. The sittings are very, very large. You have a table which comes up by press a button, and then you can turn it around and you can widen it. Okay, I just showed now. You have a real dining table if you want to have a dining inside close to the pantry. Let's go to the helm station with in front, so that is all the people on the helm are integrated in the guest area. You have a sitting here for 3 persons. Helm, you have best position at those moments is to stand up. To reach everything, when you sit down, you're a little bit far away from that, but you can stand up and use the helm.